Well-behaved women seldom present history.
James K. Polk.
Hello, the internet, or cinema-focused gathering of some kind. Today I'm going to tell you all about a man unfairly obscured by the sands of history. His name was James K. Polk, and he was the 11th President of the United States, which is the greatest nation of all. But you don't hear about him in our schools. He's not on money. He doesn't have some statue in Washington. He doesn't even have a stupid seaport or disease named after him. I think that is pretty terrible, and so should you. Okay, so Polk was born in 1795. You know, like you do. He did the Congress thing, was Speaker of the His House, and then kicked it all like Governor of Tennessee. I know what you were thinking, but seriously, man, what have you done lately? So then it came time to pick some Democrats for president, and Polk started out as sort of a dark horse candidate, but then he totally won the primary, which I think makes for a good story. Polk ran against Henry Clay. You know, Mr. Being all, I'd rather be right than president. And guess what? 54-40 or fight! James K. Polk won and commenced being just such an awesome president. He basically spearheaded all of that manifest destiny you did a report on in 7th grade. I mean, he wasn't the first person to come up with it or anything, but if anyone could have been said to be the person who made it all a thing, then it was him. Sort of like how Bill Haley didn't actually play the first rock and roll song, but you know. Anyway, this was a man of consequence and bootstraps, let me tell you. First off, he wanted to buy California. I'll say that again. Buy California. I don't hear any of your favorite presidents saying they want to buy California. And then Polk figured, hey guys, let's annex Texas. To annex something means, in some theoretical sense, to transform into a giant robot and attach the parcel of land in question to your arm to make an even bigger giant robot, and you're all, bitch, please. Except, you know, more geopolitically. And thusly was Texas acquired like nobody's business, and boy, was Mexico mad! And then he got the Oregon Territory, which wasn't just Oregon, but was also what we now call Washington and part of Montana. But Oregon is the most important because of that game where you hunt the buffalo and set your oxen to a grueling pace, find wild fruit, die of dysentery. Well, evidently no one was selling California, so we had this totally awesome war with Mexico and got so much California you wouldn't believe it. I mean, just look at that fucking California. Then he established the Department of the motherfucking Interior, and that is good enough for you. No, seriously, I cannot believe there's not like a national James K. Polk week where we take off school and shop for cars. Or maybe an HBO miniseries. Seriously, you guys, the drama, the passion. His last words were to his wife.
I love you, Sarah. For all eternity, I love you.
My God, the Jake Ryan of 1849. Polk could be played by a young Anthony Hopkins or a Terrence Stamp type if we could find one, and his wife should be played by Juliette Binoche. Your favorite president will be played by no one because he sucks, so you should probably feel bad about yourself. Okay, there were some not so good things about James K. Polk. First of all, he gave a job to James Buchanan, who in hindsight really was not someone for encouraging. But seriously, how is anyone to know that he'd go off and have ideas? Another bad thing about James K. Polk is that he died rather than living on forever to shower his visionary awesomeness over the land like some sort of presidential volcano of manifest destiny spewing out like the projectile vomit of 1,000 angels. Yet the biggest tribute we ever gave the guy was a They Might Be Giants song. I think he might be Universe Man. Polk only wanted to serve as president once, and he really only did once, and I don't know what the deal was there, but the 12th president was Zachary Taylor, and really, what was the point of that? The best thing about Zachary Taylor is he looks a little bit like Walter Matthau, who played Zachary Garber in The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, which, like James K. Polk, was astonishingly underrated. And after Taylor came Millard Fillmore. Are you fucking kidding me? This concludes today's lesson on our nation's greatest president. Let us sacrifice a goat in his honor and pray that our deaths are swift and painless. Tomorrow comes the burning.
Do